In this training, we're going to go through an Amazon ASIN breakdown. It's going to be a few part video series. The niche we're going to go after is heating pad. And here's a couple things we're going to go over within the video series. So we're going to figure out what questions we're going to have to ask ourselves to help reduce wasted ad spend and maximize organic growth. So those two together will ultimately increase net profits. This is what I'm calling the system. How to use data for keyword research, how to organize it, and then rank with keyword groups. How and when to launch with PPC to maximize the chance to rank organically, and how to analyze the market and competitors to maximize the offer, which on Amazon is conversion rates through listing optimization and split testing. So in the video series, we do have multiple sections that we're going to go over. In this section here, I'm just going to go and cover this first part here and just kind of give you a little bit of intro of what I'm going to break down and the niche itself. So this is a heating pad for neck and shoulders. This is just one that I just picked randomly within the niche. So within here, the goal that we are trying to achieve is to rank on the search engine. More specifically, we want to rank in the above the fold in these spots right here. So how do we rank on Amazon? There's a couple things that we kind of know. Amazon is a search engine for products. That's how we should be thinking about it. So what's their number one goal, and what makes them successful? So that goal is to make their customers happy. In order for them to make their customers happy as a search engine, they must show the most customer satisfied product at the top. So when you think about that in terms of a KPI, it's going to be heavily weighted on conversion rate, because products that convert the highest are going to have the highest customer satisfied or customer satisfaction. So that's just based on my tests, my data. It's pretty obvious that Amazon's algorithm for their search engine heavily relies on conversion rates. So I kind of break it down into two areas that we kind of need to focus on. So one is the offer, which in Amazon's case is the conversion rate. And then secondly, the other part to it is conversion history. So I like to think of this as Amazon's confidence in our conversion rate. So as an example, let's just say we're taking a look at this listing here. If we are, say, this guy, and we convert at 20% here. So what we know converting at 20% is the position number 1, 2, and 3 convert at a higher percentage than 20%. And then position 5 and 6 convert lower than 20%. However, you can't just convert 20% on your first sale and expect to be in this position. You have to feed Amazon with enough conversion history. So this is not how quick you deliver the history. This is more about providing Amazon with enough data so that they believe you can convert at that 20%. So all of this is actually tied at the keyword level. So as long as you can satisfy these conditions, you're generally pretty safe in achieving those top ranks that you would want on the search engine. So knowing this leads to what I call the ranking criteria. So we kind of break it down into 3 areas. One is relevancy. So when you think of relevancy, you think about what data Amazon has on you, what SEO are you doing, what are you including in your titles, your bullet points, your backend, stuff like that. And we have visibility. Visibility is simply just pay-per-click advertising. Are you driving enough conversion history, which ties into visibility, so that Amazon knows how you convert for a specific keyword, for a specific product? And then last but not least, we have the offer, which again is the conversion rate side of it. So all 3 of these have to be in sync in order for you to achieve your rank. So again, we know that to rank, we need the offer and conversion history, which is, for this triangle, is the offer and visibility. And relevancy is added on because of the data that Amazon collects and the SEO side of it. So we're going to go through and just to dive right into this section here where we're going to ask ourselves what questions we need to ask to reduce wasted ad spend and maximize organic rank. So this is just a pretty simple workflow, but it works really well. It's not meant to be overly complicated, but if you start to think about it this way, it'll save you a ton of money. So this is a decision flow when you're thinking about organic rank and PPC. So generally, when I'm taking a look at, say, a keyword group or a set of keywords that I'm targeting for my specific product, I ask myself, can you organically rank on this keyword or keyword group? So if the answer is no, I'm going to go this way first, and then I'll address the yes later. So if the answer is no to that, then can you profit on this keyword or keyword group via PPC? Basically, what that means is your ACOS less than your gross margin? So if you can be profitable, then all you need is your ACOS, your actual ACOS, less than your gross margin. So in this example, this one shows the opposite, but that's just how you have to read it. You take a look at your actual real ACOS, compare it against your gross margin, and decide whether you are profitable or not via PPC. So if you are profitable, then you're just going to want to run the PPC profitably all day long. Raise the budgets on that, drive as much traffic as you possibly can, because you're making a profit on every PPC sale. So you're going to want to try to max that out. So if we come back here and then we find out that you cannot be profitable via PPC, then the next question that you're generally going to ask yourself is there another reason why you are running PPC on this? Because you're, at the end of the day, you are now spending money to lose more money. So this is basically the definition of wasted ad spend. So this scenario can easily happen, and it might not be your fault per se. Just the mix of the market, the cost per click might be too high because there's just too many competitors bidding on the exact same targets as you. The price point of the market might not be high enough, and or the conversion rate for that market might not be high enough. So between those three conditions, it might be almost impossible to be profitable. Many niches that fall into that category is the supplement niche. That's why everyone says why it's so competitive, and that's generally why. So what are some reasons for why you might continue to run PPC on this unprofitably? You might have other reasons for brand awareness, but most of the time it's because it's a brand new launch and you're just trying to accumulate as much reviews as possible. So then to end the flow, if there is no other reason, then you should stop. You should stop on the entire keyword group, any keyword you're trying to target, because there's no real purpose. It doesn't provide any incremental business value to you. If you can't rank organically, you can't be profitable on PPC, you're just handing over money over to Amazon. So it's really, really important to nail the data down so that you can see this workflow. And if you can see this workflow in your data, then you'll know exactly how to handle it and reduce and or eliminate as much wasted ad spend as possible. Okay, so let's jump back to question number 1. So can you organically rank on this keyword or keyword group? Do you have an offer that is better than your competitors? So just remember that of how this search engine works. If I'm this guy right here, I need to have a better offer in order to beat these 3 guys. And the offer is conversion rate. So then how do we answer this question? So we're going to use the search query performance report. So if you have brand analytics, you should have this dashboard, which then you should be able to use a few of these KPIs and then calculate conversion rate. So there's 2 parts to this. When it says total, that represents the market. And then when it says brand, that represents your actual brand of your specific ASIN, which you can, if you go to ASIN view, you're able to select your ASIN. And then from there, you do the calculation. So in this case, the market conversion rate here is 18/297. Then you have 18 here for purchases, which gives you a market conversion rate of 6%. Then you have brand conversion rate, which is 2/11. So you have 11 for brand here for clicks, and then you got 2 for purchases, which will give you a conversion rate of 18%. So this is just an example. Of course, looking at these values, it doesn't amount to a ton of clicks and purchases. So it's really key to download a ton of data and aggregate them all together. So the general process is to run it by week and for every single week, and then you stack them together so that the more purchases and clicks you have, the more confident you can be within for these percentage points. So I'm also a founder of Jungle Ace. We created a convenience tool to be able to download all of this data for you. So you can do it manually, but if you decide that you don't want to do it manually, give Jungle Ace a try. I'll download it for you and aggregate all the data to see these specific KPIs here. So let's just say you downloaded it, you have all these values and all this data. It really comes down to 2 possible scenarios. So you're either going to find out that your brand is less than the market. So that means you are not comparable to how the market converts. So that one's pretty simple. If you follow the line, you really just have an offer problem. So all you need to really do is improve the offer. It's a lot easier to say that. There's a lot of work that comes with this, but the idea is you have to improve your offer, aka the conversion rate, in order to reach these ranks. Coming back here, the second scenario is brand is greater than your market. So there's a couple benchmarks here. So these benchmarks are based off of a case study that I did that involved 10 or so brands, thousands of keywords, where I tracked the market conversion rate against the brand conversion rate, and I figured out what the delta was in between that, and I put this into buckets. So this is not going to be perfect for every single product, because every single product is going to have a different keyword and all that. So, but this is a pretty good benchmark. 9 out of 10 times that I found based on that case study, this situation happened. So if your brand is greater than 2%, greater than the market, then you're likely to rank in the top 3. So you're going to have high organic visibility. So if you're greater by roughly about 1 to 2%, you're likely going to rank in the top 6. And then if you're on par with the market, you're going to rank roughly around top 10, which equates to a low organic visibility. So just remember that when we're looking at the search engine, we want to be in top 6. If you're not in top 6, you're below the fold, because below this you'll have sponsored brand video and so on and so on. So it's once you get to position 10, it's very unlikely you're going to get any meaningful organic visibility. So generally when it comes to ranking, I take a look at the type of product and my rank expectation. So generally, if I can rank between 1 to 2% or even higher than 2%, I'm likely probably going to go after it, because I can rank in the top 6 positions, which is where I'm going to get some visibility, organic visibility. But there is one situation which will prompt me to want to try to rank for a keyword or keyword group when I'm ranked in the top 10, is if I have a design-based product. So this product here would not necessarily be design-based. Design-based would be the artwork, different types of shoes, different types of different apparels, so on and so on. So if you do have a design-based product, you'll have consumers who will be scrolling more often and be viewing and purchasing products lower down in the search engine. So if that's the case, then it satisfies the criteria of the offer, where you have a good enough offer to be able to rank. But if the answer is no, and you don't have a design-based niche, then it just funnels back into this part of the funnel or the workflow where we have to improve the offer. So this system works great because you understand for what keywords work for your product at the time, and you can break out which keywords you can truly rank for and break out the group that you can't rank for. And then from there, it acts as a whole feedback system, because if you can provide listing optimizations to improve your offer, then you can come back and check your search query performance report again, and it acts as a full feedback system. Because once you go through that process again, after you improve your listing, you might find out that, hey, now my brand is greater than the market and my likelihood for rank is high, which then you can then start the process of trying to rank for that specific keyword group. So that's about it for this video. In the next video, I'm probably going to go through the relevancy section. We're going to get a pretty good understanding of keyword groups and routes, and a tool that you can use, which I've developed myself, where we can kind of gather competitive data, keyword data, and understand it at a level at the keyword and sub keyword route levels. Once we know that information, then we're able to then either gather the specific keywords we want so that we can run a PPC launch and basically try to maximize our organic rank. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video series.